SMG Delta is a firm that tracks TV advertising, and they took a look at this election cycle to see who's getting the most free media. And the answer, of course, is Donald Trump. Now, that part is unsurprising, but the extent of the free media is surprising. So they report here, quote, Mr. Trump earned $400 million worth of free media last month about what John McCain spent on his entire 2008 presidential campaign. This is in 1 month for Donald Trump. They say Trump has no weakness in any of the media segments. In other words, he is strong in every type of earned media, from television to Twitter. Over the course of the campaign, he has earned close to $2 billion worth of media attention, about twice the all-in price of the most expensive presidential campaign in history. In February, he earned as much media as Cruz and Clinton combined. So he earned as much media as the two people who are closest to him in the polls and in the race. Isn't that amazing? They talk about Clinton, they talk about Cruz way less than they talk about Trump, and it's a total of $2 billion worth of media attention. The other people can't get that kind of attention. Now, understand that there's a reasonable comeback to this, which is, well, Kyle, come on, what percentage of that is negative coverage? Because if it's negative coverage, then, it doesn't matter that it's $2 billion worth of media, because if $1.5 billion of it was the media shitting on him, then if anything, that should theoretically hurt him. That's a fair comeback. In fact, that's exactly what came to my mind when I was reading these articles here. But then I thought about it, and it clicked. And I went, oh, wait a second. There's an explanation as to why that's not true, which is when they go after Trump, as we've talked about all the time, when they do that, what are they talking about? Talking about all things that would get him more support. Probably the biggest criticism of him in the entire campaign has been his naughty language. Oh my God, he curses. Oh my God, he swears. How am I supposed to watch the Republican debates with my toddler? The fuck are you watching it with your toddler in the first place? This is a criticism we got from CNN, from NBC News, all across the board. He's really breaching proper decorum in said races. So when they go after him for shit that really is legitimate PC outrage. Like, this is politically correct garbage that adults should look at and go, shut the fuck up! Fuck up! Who cares? So when they go after him, they say that. And then the other time that they cover him, it's just, talking about, ooh, look at the wacky thing he did on the campaign trail this time. Ooh, he gave a speech where he said Mitt Romney is useless. Oh, like, that's not hurting him. So that stuff's not hurting him. When they talk about his naughty language, that's not hurting him either. They don't focus on any of the things that actually matter in any serious way. They don't do breaking news. Donald Trump advocates war crimes when he says let's kill civilians in the Middle East. Breaking news, he advocates torture even if it doesn't work. Those stories, even when they cover the scandal of hey, let's kick out the undocumented immigrants. They don't frame it in a way where you make people understand why this is so grotesque and egregious. They don't have people saying, hey, 11 million of these people. The overwhelming majority of them are good people who work hard, who, when we tried getting rid of them in Alabama in some places, the business owners wanted them back immediately because the businesses couldn't run without them. So they don't frame the conversation properly. And since they don't frame the conversation properly, virtually the entire $2 billion worth of media attention helps him. Now, believe me, I understand. We've probably covered Donald Trump way more than other characters, certainly more than John Kasich and people like that. I'm sure we covered Ted Cruz a decent amount, but Trump probably more. But the thing is, when I do it, or I try my best to make it in context and to explain why said issue is important and to make it policy specific, they don't do that in the mainstream media. When they're going after him, it's just because he breached decorum, which is only going to help him because people look at that and they go, that's PC bullshit, and they're right. So $2 billion worth of free media, virtually all of it is helping him. So if the rest of the media were covering Donald Trump like we're covering Donald Trump, that'd be a different story. I'd be saying it doesn't matter how much money's worth of media you covered him, you did the right thing because you exposed him. But they're not doing that. So this is free media. This does help him, and this is another of many reasons why he's dominating the race, and he'll almost certainly be the Republican nominee.